Morning, this is Brian. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2026, and I'm back here at Black Mountain Ranch Community Park here in the Black Mountain Ranch / Rancho Penasquitos area of San Diego, and I'm planning on hitting a few hills and summits in the area. First off, I'm going to try to go up to this small one here. And this hill's about 810 feet, so I'm calling it Peak 810 or Hill 810. And then I'm going to go across and hit a summit I've already visited once before back in September 2024. Doug Benchmark, about 820 feet in elevation. And unlike last time, I'm hoping to visit its slightly lower hill, which you can't even really see from here, Hill 700. And then, if enough energy remains, I'm thinking about going up to Peak 1376 and potentially even Black Mountain. So let's see how this morning goes. First, I'm just going to find my way up to this hill here, if possible. See how that works out. There are a couple of trails you can take to get up there, at least what I saw on Google Earth, so I'm going to give it a shot right now. Almost looks like a human-made hill, but it'll be my first little quick hit of the day. Doug Benchmark's another pretty easy hike, and when I looked at Google Earth, the last time I was over at Doug Benchmark, I didn't see a trail going up to the top of Hill 700, but I looked at Google Earth, and it appears to be a game trail or a very faint path going up, I think, the southeast side of it. So I might be able to do it today. All right, let's go take a right here. There's quite a bit of African sumac growing out here. Sayarcia lancea. Let's see if I can get to this. This is not even this is a really small hill, but it's kind of like a little warm-up summit. I think there is a trail that goes up to the top of it. So yeah, nice and comfortable out this morning. It's in the 50s. Probably getting up into the low 70s today, but I'm not planning on being out all day because just like the last 3 weeks before this, I'm doing my hiking on Thursdays because Wednesday I just can't seem to get up and get out. For some reason, it's just not been happening lately. Yeah, we got some purple sage here. Oh yeah, Salvia leucophylla. Yes, indeed. There's quite a bit of it in the area. I know there's some at the base of Doug Benchmark too. We're getting some purple sage out here. Native to Southern California, but not this far south. It's pretty well established out here though. So let's see if I can get up to the top of this little lookout here. It's about 810 feet. Not very much prominence, but it's a hilltop, so you know how I feel about being on top of hills and peaks and whatever kind of summit it is. It's most likely going to interest me, and I'm probably going to want to climb it. Let's see. I'm gonna wind my way around here, catch you on the next clip, and we'll see if I can get to the top of this. All right, so I wasn't going to try to amble up the slope cross country. I mean, because it looks like it'd probably be pretty easily erodible. I'm going to feel like slipping and causing erosion, so I'm going to follow this little path up to the top to minimize erosion. Said, wherever possible, I tried to follow trails to get where I'm going. All right, so this should be a very short, easy summit with a nice, easily followable trail to get me there. This early part of the hike is going to be quite easy. This Doug benchmark are easy. But if I do tack on Black Mountain, on top of all this, it'll become more of a moderate hike, because the route I'm planning to take up to Black Mountain isn't a typical trailhead like the ones over on this side of Carmel Valley Road. My trail is going to be more of a narrow single track that's going to go up the ridge directly to peak 1376. So it's going to be a pretty direct line of ascent, and then from 1376 dip down to a shallow saddle, and then backdoor Black Mountain that way. So I'm just about ready on this really small summit. You're not gonna struggle with this at all. Even the most out of shape people are gonna think of this as a cakewalk. But I suggest backdooring it like I did. Stay on trail instead of going up the slope here, because it looks like it's very easily erodible. Well, I'm basically already here. So, okay. This is it. Hill 810. It's about 810 in elevation, looking on Google Earth. I'm going to call this Hill 810. And I'm going to get a summit selfie. I'll just point out a couple of quick views, do a 360. My main viewfinder is either going to be on Doug Benchmark or on Black Mountain, if I go all the way to Black Mountain, that is. Quite frankly, this is probably one of the easiest summits I have ever visited in my entire life. Like I said, it's not a huge rise above the surrounding landscape, but hey, I love hilltops. I love the top of mountains. I love the top of peaks. I love the top of hills, little mounds. Hey, I just like being on top of hills. It's an obsession of mine, so I'm going with it. All right, so I'm going to start by looking west. Right over there, you can see the Pacific Ocean. You see out closer over by where Del Mar is and everything. And I'm going to swing it counterclockwise like I typically do. Doug Benchmark. Southwest towards Hill 700. Like I said, this time I'm gonna try harder to get to the top of that one. The last time I did Doug Benchmark, I didn't go up to it. But this time I'm gonna try to find that use trail. Looking over towards La Jolla and Soledad Mountain. South. Southeast, yep, again, Black Mountain and peak 1376. East towards the sun, sorry about that. All right. Looking northeast. Van Dam open space looks like, or Sabre Springs open space is near here too. North. northwest towards the Cerro de las Posas hills in San Marcos off in the distance, back to the west. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, because if I want to hit as many as 5 hilltops today, this being the first, I'm going to have to move with a little sense of urgency today. So I make sure I have time to get home and rest up for another week of work, another 5 days of work. So I'll go ahead and go back down this way. I think I'm going to try to hit Doug benchmark differently than the way I went up. I kind of made a loop out of it. What I did is I went through the pass between Hill 700 and Doug benchmark, and then I went up on the west side and took a trail up. I think I'm going to try to do a direct line of ascent, going up that service road there and then going up the ridge that way. Like I said, I'm going to try to hit as many as 5 hilltops today, including one pretty major one in the area. I'm gonna have to move with a sense of purpose today. But cool little hilltop, and there's some nice little views up here, not gonna lie. Pretty happy I included this one in my itinerary. And it's time to start moving down. You get some nice views over Black Mountain, the Black Mountain Ranch area. There are a lot of other trails in this general vicinity that are definitely worth checking out. In fact, some of the trails over by Doug benchmark are actually named. I think there's a Santa Luz trail, and there are a couple other ones. And I think they connect to the Penasquitos Canyon area, I believe. I think it's part of Penasquitos Canyon, open space or something. All right, so like before, quick little descent back down the trip, back down to the west side of the hill, and I'm going to make my way towards Black Mountain Ranch Community Park, like where I started. But I'm going to migrate to the other side and try to get to Doug benchmark. Let me see if I can follow this trail out this way, if this will get me closer to the park more quickly. I don't know. Yeah, so there it is. Very small hill, but just that little lift in elevation will give you some pretty decent perspectives on the area with some pretty nice views. Okay, so I get Peters out over here. Like I said, I'm trying to work my way back. I wonder if this is a glider. I think this is a glider port or something here. I think that's what this is. There's supposed to be one up on Black Mountain too. Right, so I'm just about to rejoin this. Looks like there's a drainage culvert here, but there's a trail that goes back towards the park. So that's where I'm going to go right now. And so did the easiest summit first. Right up there, like I said, it's not much of a rise, but just that little lift gives you some pretty good views of the area. So I'm gonna now work my way through this. It should lead back to the park where there's some coastal sage scrub. All right, what do we got? Broombaccharis, a lot of that. Then we got lots of California sagebrush. Here we go. Lemonade berry, of course. And look at all the fruits ripening on it too. How absolutely gorgeous is that? Yeah, some of these baccharis shrubs are pretty tall. That's a broombaccharis. This is a coyote brush, closely related to broombaccharis. Often hybridizes with it. And we got two related plants, one native and one not native. Laurel sumac, native, of course. And African sumac, not native, of course. So, okay. In fact, the lemonade berry is related to both of them as well. All three are in separate genera. Lemonade berry, Rhus integrifolia. Laurel sumac, Malosma laurina. It used to be known as Rhus laurina back in the day. And African sumac, Cearcia lancea, which used to also be in the genus Rhus, interestingly. All right, so I'm gonna make my way back down to the parking lot, and then I'm gonna go cut across the park and see if I can take the shorter route to get up to Doug Benchmark. And then from there, I'm gonna go down the other side and wind my way around to the south side of Hill 700 and see if I can find that use trail to get up to the top of that. It looked like there's a use trail on Google Earth, so I'm gonna try my luck today, and we'll see how this goes. All right, time to cut across the park, find the back, and take the road to get to the back door approach to Doug Benchmark. So I'm gonna cut across the park, look for an opening and a trail, and work my way up that dirt service road, and again turn left and quickly ascend the ridge, and we'll see how that goes. This is where I've done a couple episodes of Trees of San Diego. This is the park. Here's one of them right here, a small water gum, Tristaniopsis laurina from Australia. It's another relative of the eucalyptus in the myrtle family. Yeah, this is where I did my Trees of San Diego episode on that, and also on the African sumac if you're interested in checking that out. Now let's go find some trails to get over to Doug Benchmark. Alright, so I'm walking along the fence, going towards an opening in the fence, which will be on my right. That'll take me where I'm trying to go. About 50 yards up will be my trailhead. Okay, here's the entrance to the trail system. Right underneath this pretty decent sized toy on right here. Let's see. Just got to get to that dirt road there, which means I'm going to be going to the bottom of this little ravine, like last time. There's Hill 700, small hill in the center there. That'll be hopefully my third hilltop of the day. So let's see. Trailer, dumpster trailer, whatever this is. So I'm gonna go join that road, briefly head downhill, and it'll go uphill towards Doug Benchmark. Oh, what's going on with this poor laurel sumac? It's so sparsely foliated, it's so big though. It's a pretty tall one. Alright, let's go join that road and start working our way towards Doug Benchmark. Ooh, it's a beehive. Looks like somebody's cultivating bee honey or something. I want to stay away from that. Alright. Probably won't be coming back this way. Anyways, after I'm done with this side, I'm going to be heading across Carvel Valley Road to hike up to the Black Mountain area. Ooh, an Audubon's cottontail. I think that's an Audubon's. Yeah. It think I see the black tips in the ears, I think. Otherwise that'd be yeah, that's definitely Audubon's cottontail. Had to make sure it wasn't Bachman's cottontail, which couldn't be found here as well. All right. Let's go head down to this small canyon, then up to that ridge, and there will be a set of trails that goes up to the top. So yes, this is a hill I have visited before, once. And I've been on 1376 and Black Mountain, but it's been years since I've been up there. And this will be a very different route to get to that area. Like I said, I'm not going to get too cocky and say I'm going to make it all the way to Black Mountain today. But right now my plan is to do so. Alright, so we're going to go down this. There's going to be our hill right up there. Doug benchmark. My second time up there. Alright, I'm going to keep heading down this. Here we are at the bottom of the gulch. Yeah, just enough moisture in here to grow willows. Gooding's black willow, specifically, Salix Gooding-y. And it's starting to go to seed right now. Little cottony seeds, like on the related cottonwoods in the genus Populus. Cottonwoods and willows being, of course, in the willow family, the Salicaceae. Yeah. Alright, so I guess we're gonna cross this. We're gonna come out on the little gravelly road that we're gonna take to get up there to the shoulder. We've got a couple cottontails over there now. We've got like 2 of them. Yeah, that and that are 2 more rabbits. If you come in the morning, you're most likely to see them. Alright, well, I'm going to go head up this to get to the lower part of the ridge, and I will see you up the way. I'm working my way up this. Got an incredible white sage here. Salvia huppyhunna. Looks like it's going to seed. I think these are they spent? Oh, sorry. Yeah, these are spent. Still got flowers on it, though. Sorry, buddy. Look at that. Handsome. Nice and glistening in the sun. Okay. And next to it is another relative. Of course, black sage. This one's just about completely done flowering. Only has a couple left on it. Yeah. So we have at least 3 types of shrub sage here. Purple, black, and white. Huh. What if that goes anywhere? I'm almost at the top of this rise here. There should be a trail heading up that way. There are a series of small looping trails on top. This black sage still has more flowers on it. Yeah. Can't get enough of this plant. Ooh, California bricklebush. Brachylia californica. Cool. I'll see you on the way up. Okay, top of the rise. Now it's time to look for the trail heading up the hill. Should be right around here too. Let's see. be right over here. There it is. This is the way I came down from Doug Benchmark. When I was done with it. Yeah. Ooh, a spotted towhee. Papilio maximus, or papilio. Yeah, that's a spotted towhee. Do occasionally see those on my hikes. Hopefully the camera got a good enough image of it. Yeah. Now we're heading up Doug Benchmark. Here in the coastal sage scrub. I think I see a Weeds Mariposa lily, too. Be the first one I've seen this year. Yep, yes indeed. I spy with my little eyes. Just opening up for the day. Here we go. Calocortis weedy variety weedy. Weeds Mariposa lily. Not because it's a weed. It's named after a person with the last name Weed, I believe. It's very much a native plant. Very much a part of our native landscape. Oh. And now we got splendid Mariposa lily. Another species I commonly see. Calocortis splendens. Hasn't opened up yet for the day. We're not that far from the summit already. So yeah, it's a pretty easy climb to get up here. I just gotta see if I can remember where the summit is. We're almost there. It's a pretty easy climb up that way. Pretty easy climb to get up here. But it's very much worth it. Alright. Summit's gonna be up that way. The ground's a little higher up there. Pretty easy climb. Let's see. I gotta look for a trail splitting in the middle, I think, if I remember correctly, to ascend to the high point. I remember the first time I was here, it's a really pretty area. Should be nearing the summit of this pretty soon. This will be just a little tiny bit higher than the first hill. Only this one's a little more work to get to the top of this one compared to that first one. Okay, there's a split right there. All right, let's go look for the summit. Yeah, the summit was over here if I remember correctly. I'm gonna loop around. Try to minimize how much time I'm off trail in any of these spots. Yeah, I remember there's some small rocks and stuff over by where the high point is. Let's go look around. think I probably overshot it. I'm just going back kind of the way I came to go to that other trail hooking around to the right. So I remember entering the small pile of rocks from the other side, if I remember correctly. Let me see. Well, it's right here. I'm just going to briefly amble over to the top. Just very short. Alright. I don't remember seeing a benchmark when I was here either. Alright. Okay. Well, here we are. Alright. This is it. Dug benchmark. It's about 820 feet in elevation. This will be my second time up here. Very nice. Do another 360 up here. Alright. Start by looking northeast. I'm going to go counterclockwise. That's Sabre Springs open space right there is Van Dam Ridge, I believe. Unless it's on the other side. I think that's it. Yeah. You can see over to the top of Mount Whitney in San Marcos. That point right there with Frank's Peak right next to it, off in the distance. It's looking north. And the Cerro de las Posas. Not these ones in the foreground, but behind. Over again in San Marcos. And then I can see over by San Onofre Mountain on Camp Pendleton. Another prominent hill. And now we're looking west towards the Pacific Ocean. Looking southwest. That's over by Penasquitos Canyon area. Well, it's a little more over there. That's a little more where Penasquitos Canyon is, but we're near it. Not that far from it, actually. La Jolla and Soledad Mountain again. Looking south. East-southeast towards Black Mountain again. East. Northeast. So yeah, some pretty good views up here too. Black Mountain will have by far the most insane views. And I need to get a summit selfie before I forget. There's some interesting plants here. First of all, something interesting growing here. I wonder if this is Western Dichondra right here. I wonder if this is Dichondra occidentalis. You don't need to take a couple pictures of these. That might be what this is. Don't quote me on it. That might be what that is. I'm going to take a picture of that. Then my summit selfie. And I'm going to start working my way down the other side of Dug Benchmark to make a run at Hill 700. So I should already have had the text on the screen if I can confirm that, or if I confirm it's something else. I might search around for a minute to see if I can see a benchmark, which I'm not really expecting, because I remember the first time I was here I didn't see one, and I was in this spot. But I'm not going to obsessively look for one. It'd be nice to see one. I like seeing benchmarks. For some reason, I just like seeing them. A lot of peak focus hikers like finding the benchmarks too. I'm not the only one. Okay. Let me just gently make my way back to the trail. I'm going to head down this side this time. Yeah. The first time I was here, I did not see a benchmark up here, but I climbed the peak That's good enough for me. Okay. So I think I'm going to take this trail here. I think this one's going to lead down. Yeah, this one should lead down, I believe. Oh, that's not even a trail. I'm tripping. I thought this was a trail. I'm just going to go follow the typical way then. So yeah, that rock pile is the summit of Doug Benchmark. Nice to be up here. Nice to get up here. Not gonna lie. All right, I'm gonna start working my way down. Look for a trail that descends this side, and work my way towards Hill 700. Let's see if that works out today. That would be nice if I can find that use trail up there. If I do, it'll make me very happy. It'll be the second hill that I haven't visited in this area yet. We'll see how that works out. I just found a black and white sage hybrid. This one looks a lot closer to its black sage parent, but look at the way the flowers inflorescences are structured. Much like the white sage, the flowers look just like white sage flowers, and the stalks are like white sage, but the foliage is just like black sage, and it smells more like black sage than intermediate, I think. Let me double check. Yeah. But this is a hybrid between white sage and black sage. Yeah, these instead of having those little round balls, they only, yeah. See, they have the round balls of flower heads like the black sage, but the structure of the inflorescence is branched like on white sage. But there's not a lot of intermediacy in the foliage. The foliage is very much like his black sage parent, but again, the stalks, the inflorescence stalks, are well branched like on white sage. So we got some hybrid Salvia mellifera / Apiana growing over here as well. Yeah, very interesting. Here's a regular black sage right here. As you can tell, you get the balls, the little seed and flower head balls, but you notice that these aren't really branched, not very strongly branched, not very well branched. That's regular Salvia mellifera, and there's regular Salvia apiana, upright and branched flower stalks or inflorescence stalks. So yeah, we do have hybridization going on here. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, let's see. There was a trail. There was a trail going down that side there. I'm trying to find it. Very interesting. To get down this side, I know there was a trail. Do have hybridization going on between the sages. Could have sworn there was a trail that went up this way from the other side. Well, I'm just going to go down this way and just see what happens. Yeah. I'm just going to go this way. Just keep moving on, I guess. Start heading down this side, I guess. Yeah, some of this black sage is still well in bloom. Very, very impressive stands of California sagebrush and black sage, pocked with some white sage and some hybrids apparently. So I'm actually heading back towards the summit was not really my plan. Yeah, there's a lot of this plant here. I think might be Dichondra occidentalis or something like that. So I'm gonna have to definitely take a look at my field guide to see if I can confirm that. That'd be a plant that I've never really noticed until today. Yeah, so we're right near where the summit is. Again, not where I planned to be. So I'm kind of making a loop around the peak. I remember taking a trail that went up this side the first time I was here, and that's where I'm trying to go now, so I can get back down and have a logistical standpoint to get to the other peak. Yeah, see, we're right by the summit area again. Let's see. Try not to spend too much time in one area so I can broaden my horizons for the day. Though I will admit, it's a very enjoyable area. Not gonna lie, it's a very enjoyable summit area. It's very beautiful up here. I mean, it's a very lovely coastal sage grove. Okay. Trail here. Trail here. Where does it, how far does it go? And can I use it to descend? I don't know. I'll have to see. I'm gonna look around for a minute and see. Okay, found something branching here off to the right. As I circled the summit again. This looks like this might be it. Yeah, I think I found it. Well, let's see if it just leads over to that area over there, which I'm hoping not. It seems to be leading over towards the private property over there. There are my footprints from earlier. Yeah. Yeah, boy, I'm really not having much luck today. It's leading me right back where I didn't want to go. Yikes, this is actually kind of becoming a little bit of a nuisance. I don't know if I'm going to bother mapping all this weirdness out here. It'll just be kind of redundant. Yeah, last time I had no trouble getting my way through this area. So let's go back this way. See if I can just descend regularly. So here we go again. Oh, that was quite weird. Let's see if this works. Yikes. All right. I don't think I'm going to map all this redundancy at all. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. Yeah, I haven't gone this way yet today. I remember all these rocks yet. I got some more hybrid sage growing here as well. Some more of it. Definitely some hybridization going on. Some Nuttall snapdragon. Oh, heck yeah, look at that. And bloom. Very handsome plant. Very handsome. All right. Because I know that I think it's because the trail's kind of like some looping trails on the top of the hill. Probably why I got myself all misconstrued, miscombobulated, or whatever you want to call it. This is a pretty little spot right here. Some more weeds, Mariposa lily. Right there. Very, very nice. This is a nice trail though, not gonna lie. So when I do my map, I'm just gonna loop the trails around the summit, and then the rest of it I'm not gonna go back over the areas I recovered by stepping in the wrong direction, because I think it's just a little redundant. It's not gonna add anything very interesting to it as well. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to show you this very lovely area. Black sage still blooming pretty nicely over here in this particular section. A little rocky over here, so just pay attention where you step. Doesn't make the trail extremely difficult or anything. This is a pretty easy trail. Just watch where you step, that's all. Yeah. See, now we went from California sagebrush dominated to black sage dominated coastal sage scrub right now. Yeah, this is very nice. Very nice. Yep, there's my next goal right there. A small hill right there, hill 700. This time I'm gonna try a little harder to get up there. I'm gonna go for it. So this was a trail I was trying to find, but I thought memory didn't serve me that well. I thought it went down a little bit further up. I thought it started going down this direction, but no. This is the trail I wanted to find in the first place. Yeah, I remember I went through that small pass, that saddle between Hill 700 and Doug Benchmark. That was a pretty cool little pass too. It was a nice little canyon between the two. It was pretty nicely vegetated down there. Some beautiful, even lusher coastal sage scrub. A little chaparral around here. If I make it up to Black Mountain, that area, I will be in chaparral, because there's chaparral up there. So yeah, I remember this now. Okay, well, head down towards the backside of Doug Benchmark, and I'm going to look for some trails to get on the other side and see if I can find something to get up there. Before I go though, California spine shrub, Adolphia californica, it's already shed its leaves for the dry season already, because it's been dry for over 2 months now without any real rain. All right, see you down the way for some more updates and whatever comes my way. Yeah, I like how this trail just gently winds its way around the other side of Doug Benchmark's hill. Yeah, this is the way I went up that first time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I remember a winding trail that cut around the side. This is just a very pleasant trail. Let's just put it that way. If you're not looking for anything extremely hard, something pretty scenic and lovely, you know, this is it right here. You can get some rock piles here. It's not a huge bouldery area. But it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah, a lot more Adelphia californica growing on this side here too. It's a lot more of it. I think it likes more of the south and southwest facing slopes in the drier portions of coastal sage scrub. That's the impression I'm getting. It seems to like the sunnier, drier sides of the hills. Because there wasn't any on the north facing slopes, or the east facing slopes. Yeah. Nice trails here. Very nice trails. So we're heading down towards this valley area. So let's see. Pretty nice area, not gonna lie. It's that Diegan coastal sage scrub. You got the Diegan coastal sage scrub in northern Baja, San Diego County, and I think most of Orange County, which has the highest diversity of shrub species. Then you have the Venturan coastal sage scrub, I believe from LA, maybe north of LA or north of LA, into Santa Barbara County and Ventura County, which has less diversity. And then there's another subsection called River Cidian sage scrub, which is also sometimes called interior sage scrub because it's in the inland communities like Riverside County, which are inland from the ocean, which I think might have the least amount of diversity, but I'm not sure. Okay. So we're going to go down this way. Some kind of gentle switchbacks. Sorry about the sun in advance. But there's our dug benchmark right there from the back side. Pretty cool. Go down, down and down. And just going to keep enjoying this Diegan coastal sage scrub. Alright, see you on the next clip. Alright, so I'm actually not that far. There's Black Mountain there, but Hill 700 is just underneath it. So I am working my way towards it right now. But like I said, I need to get to the other side of it to visit the peak. So I need to get to the other side of Hill 700. So I'm not going to go through a full bushwhack to get up there. Now, remember, I think there is a trail junction. There should be a trail junction down in the canyon, which I'm approaching right now, actually. Yeah, there's a trail junction down here. I'm gonna take a right, but at least I'll get close to the little pass so I can show you again. If you didn't see my September 2024 Doug benchmark video where I go through the pass. Yeah, like I said, this time I could go back this way to get to the park. I mean, I could get to it to go that way, go around on the street and stuff, but I'm gonna head around this way instead. There's Hill 700, and there's a beautiful little well-vegetated hill, little miniature mountain pass, which is really beautiful. But when I'm done, I also wasn't planning on heading through the pass. I was actually going to plan on head on the Carmel Valley Road and then go across the street and start ascending Black Mountain. So we'll see how everything works out in that respect. So I'm hoping that Hill 700 is still going to be a go. Alright, we'll see. I'm going to keep heading down this side of Hill 700, look for another trail, kind of a use trail that goes along the southern foot of it, and we'll see how that works out. But look at this, laurel sumac and toyon. Nice little drainage gully here, and we'll see how this works. We're about to hit our next junction here. I am going to turn left, and it should take me to a single track trail that'll be at the base of Hill 700. Now let's see if luck will be on my side, if I can find a use trail to get up to the top of that. Let's see. Only time will tell. Yeah, just a very short distance later, I'm going to take this use trail here. I think I did this last time. Take this use trail, wrap around to the south side of the peak, and I might get lucky and find a use trail ascending this. Really want to get to the top of that this time. So let's see how that works. Another hybrid, white and black sage. Yeah, here we go. Parent 1, black sage, Salvia mellifera. Parent 2, white sage, Salvia apiana. Hybrid of both parents, Salvia mellifera / apiana. Okay, that's cool when both parents are flanking it on both sides. Okay. I think I'm almost where the trail peters out. Going this way. Now, let's see. Yes, I think I found it. It was what looked like a very faint use trail going up the hill. Right here by the drainage gully. Okay, I think I see it. This is what I was trying to find. This one's very faint, but I can see it. And it's usable. Okay, well, I will finally realize my dream and mission of getting up to the top of this one. This is a use trail. It's very faint, but it's there. I'm not trying to blaze any new trails. So I just got to climb this up. Be at the top of this pretty soon for my third hilltop of the day. Okay, very good. Be honest, this is pretty, it's a little bit faint in spots, but it's pretty easy to follow. Like right here, it's pretty obvious. It's a pretty obvious route. The least vegetated spot is most likely where your use trail is going to be. Should be nearing the summit of this pretty soon, actually. Last time I was here, I really wanted to get up here, but I wasn't really sure if I should go for it. But now it's definitely a go. All right. Let's see. Might have a little rock scrambling to get up here. Let's see. I can take this pathway here. A little steeper, there's a little bit more work to get up to this one, but not real strenuous either. Alright, almost here, almost at the peak. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. A little tricky footing, but nothing too bad. Alright. This is it. Hill 700. My third hilltop of the day. Found my way up here. Yeah. Really glad I did. I'm actually stop up here to get a drink. So, Hill 700, my third hilltop of the day. Really glad I made it up to this one. Wanted to come up here really badly on the first time. Wasn't sure if I should go for it, but I saw that use trail, thinking to myself, yeah, I could probably find it when I'm hiking. I was looking at it on Google Earth. And then, yeah, came to the end of that straightaway, and I saw it branching off, and it looked pretty good. So I was thinking to myself, yeah, good idea. Just come up here, get the hat trick of the day. Looking back at the hill that culminates at Doug Benchmark. That's the pass I always talk about. Very beautiful trail going through that small canyon. Yeah. Very nice. I'm going to do a quick 360 up here as well. I'm going to start by, again, looking northeast. And that's the first hill I climbed right there. That's Hill 810 right there. And I'm going to be looking north towards Palomar Mountain, way off in the distance. Big long ridge in the haze. Palomar Mountain. And here we are, looking north-northwest towards Doug Benchmark. There's the trail I came down to get down and around the base of this one. Now we're looking west. Southwest again towards La Jolla University's town center. And Soledad Mountain in the background. Now we're looking south. That's Miramar Benchmark. That small hill right there. That's Miramar Benchmark. It's another cool little hilltop I visited. And to try to avoid the super glare of the sun, Peak 1376 on the left, Black Mountain on the right as we're looking east. We're going to close it back out to the northeast towards Hill 810. Cool. 3 summits so far. So I'm going to take a small sit down here. I'm going to get a cup of water, and then I'm going to make my way back down. I want to make it down to Carmel Valley Road, and then I'm going to go just a little bit east on Carmel Valley Road on the other side and pick up a dirt road. You can kind of see it there. It's going to lead its way down through that swale, and then I'm going to pick up a trail that's going to head directly up to Peak 1376 there on the left, and then branch off right to go to Black Mountain if energy allows. But I'm going to go take just a quick break before I start ambling down this and working on my fourth climb of the day. So I'm getting ready to leave Hill 700. There we got a nice little spiny red berry. Haven't really been pointing this out much today. I've seen a few of them, of course. We got a few of them here on the summit, actually. They're such rugged little shrubs too, and sometimes they're not that little. A lot of times they're quite small, but sometimes they're not that small. Okay, now challenge is finding the use trail again. This is it right here. This is our Doug benchmark neighbor. This was a very worthy side trip. Okay, so let's see. I think the use trail actually going to go this way. Sometimes going down a use trail is easier to lose it sometimes going down than going up it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep on trail. Okay, let's see. Might be off trail already. This is what I'm trying not to do. I'm trying to keep on the use trail going down the hill. Hey. So I don't have to bushwhack and keep my impact on the landscape to a minimum, which was my plan all along. So now I gotta go look for the use trail. Look like it here. So where did I come though? Where did I come? Let's see. I just gotta look around a little bit for it. I think it came from here, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Came from over this little bit of scree here. Let's see. Yeah. That's what always happens to me on the way down from peaks with use trails. So it seems to happen to me a lot, actually. But back on track. Just gonna follow this use trail back down. This isn't a big mountain climb, nor is it a big mountain descent. But there is the little element of route finding if you want to avoid a bushwhack, which I don't think would be extremely difficult in this relatively low-growing sage scrub, but yeah, cool. Okay, my trail branches off to the, not branches, but swerves to the right here. Okay. Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty easy to follow the trail, especially on the way up. On the way down, you just gotta look around for it on the way down. Pretty cool trail. A little extra, a little bit of a rugged mini adventure on this hike here. Oh boy. Okay. Should be back down at that little single track pretty soon. I'll just work my way to Carmel Valley Road. Start working my way towards the intersection by the park. Just want to show you what the descent is like. And once I got back on route, it was just a little steep. Just gotta watch your footing, and that's about it. Like a lot of used trails, they're not engineered. They're usually made by people repeatedly hiking them. Okay. That about does it for Hill 700. Now, let's follow this part of the used trail back to the main trail and see if I can work my way down to the road. Very cool. Just got to go over that way once I get down to the end of this used trail. Gotta work my way to the street. Hello, buddy. That was a nice, fun little adventure. I gotta say, that was kind of fun. Little rugged used trail slash, it's kind of like cross country. A lot of times people consider Houston scuffed-in paths. Used trails are scuffed-in paths that aren't really obvious as cross-country routes. So I guess you can kind of say there's a little cross-country aspect to this. I'll take it. All right. So I'm going to go head towards the road, so I'm going to go branch off to the left, do a hard left here, and it should take me towards the street. All right. I'm just about at Carmel Valley Road. So I'm going to go head up this way for a little bit. And I'll see you the way. There's Black Mountain Road. So I'm going to be crossing. That's the gulch right here. It's all purple sage. It's all Salvia leucophylla. Benchmark. Very nice. Alright, see you down the way. Yep. Remember this. First time I was here, I went down this too. Check this little spot out. This time. Head right up towards the driveway into the park. So I'm going to cross and go that way. So, park Going past Black Mountain Parkway. I'm on the other side of Carmel Valley Road. I just gotta look for an entrance to get on a dirt road that goes up this way. Alright, so approaching one of the driveways to Black Mountain open space. I'm wondering if this will be the road I take, or if I was supposed to, I think I was supposed to stay on the other side, I think. Yeah, this is the glider port entrance. I think I was supposed to stay on the other side of the driveway. What do we got here? Yeah, this is the driveway into the park. So I think I went a little too far. Shaw's agave. Agave Shai, variety Shai. Right here. Coast Chulia. Right here at the entrance to Black Mountain open space. So I think I'm going to go back. I think there was another driveway I was supposed to enter on the other side of the traffic signal. So I'm going to go back that way. It's supposed to be on this side here. It's supposed to be a dirt road up ahead. Down that way. I think I came up too far. Oh well, we'll see. Coming up on something now that potentially I think is going to be the road I want to take. Right here, here it is. This should be it right here. This is going to parallel Black Mountain Road for a little while. Man, there's so much purple sage here. It's everywhere. Yeah. You can tell where it's getting watered by irrigation and where it's just out in the natural rainfall patterns. We got a lot of this here too. Sallia farinosa, turtle bush. Alright, so I'm going to be following this track for a while. Eventually I'm going to be finding a use trail or a narrowed single track branching off to my left to go directly up the ridge towards my next objective, which is peak 1376, which, sorry for the sun again, is that one in the center there. And then Black Mountain, and probably just back down the way I came, so I don't have to add any extraneous mileage. Normally I don't mind adding mileage, but a little bit less so on Thursday hikes because I have to work the next day. So I'm going to be following this for a little while. I'm going to go up and down a little bit, and eventually I'm going to intersect a single track, start working my way up towards the Black Mountain area. So we'll see how this goes. I'm coming up to a fork. Intuition is telling me go left to start going uphill a little bit. And go around this little facility, whatever this is. Eventually I'm going to have to spy the ridge that leads up to 1376. Start working my way up there. Let's see. I think I found the use trail. I think I found the trail. It's going to be over there somewhere, I think. Let's see. I found a trail going up that ridge. Might be it. Let's see. I go down to this little canyon. Let's see. Use trail near here too. it is. Trail closed. That was it. Yeah, so much for that. Yikes, man. Oh, man, that sucks. Might be another way if I go around this way. There's one that goes up to Black Mountain. Let me see. Yes, that was the one I was going to take. Ooh, Audubon's cottontail again. Wow, that's already another strike. Worst came to worst, I'd just be happy climbing the 3-piece I did. It's a little too close for comfort for me. Let me go back. Maybe I can climb up that. Let's see. Kind of disappointing. I expect that trail to be closed. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Man, it would be nice to climb that up. It would be nice to get up there that way. But let's look on the bright side. Got some San Diego bush sunflower. Biopsis laciniata, blooming pretty heavily right now. We've got a pretty decent sized laurel sumac here. It's an interesting little canyon. We got a red willow here. Yeah, it's a bummer about that trail though. Maybe I'll try to climb up that. But yeah, this one says trail closed, so that's a no-go. Dang that blows. That was gonna be the trail I was gonna take too. That blows, man. Here's some Douglas mugwort. Let me see, Douglasiana. And California bush sunflower, California Salea californica. It's related to that brittle bush I pointed out earlier. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Let's see if I can hit up there, if possible. I feel like getting too close to that house. Alright, I'll see you on the next clip. I admit, weather this morning is very nice. There's a little bit of movement in the air. Some coolness in the air. Guess I'll go up this and see if I can climb this. I think the road does go past that property, but it came really close to it. It would have been nice to tack on Black Mountain, but I don't want to go back down and redo it all. So the trail that goes up that ridge is closed. So never mind that today. It's a shame, but it's closed, it's closed. I'm gonna go head up this and see if this is a peak or something. Hopefully there's a high point here. And see up the way climbing this. This will be my 4th hill of the day, if it is indeed a peak. I think it goes down on the other side, but I'm not sure. Like I said, this wasn't really a planned trip here. This side trip, I was planning on getting up there and up there, but that trail's closed. I mean, I could walk along Black Mountain Road and take the service road or something. I don't know if I want to do a lot of extra maneuvering. Maybe I'll just save Black Mountain for another time. Been wanting to get back up there for a few years, and it's a very, very nice peak. Not as crowded as Coles Mountain, and it's not even that much lower than Coles Mountain. I think it's only 39 feet lower than Coles Mountain. It's the second highest point in the city of San Diego. This is part of the city of San Diego. So, Coles Mountain is the highest peak in the city limits of San Diego. Black Mountain is the second highest by barely anything. So we'll see what's at the top of this. I don't see any keep out signs, so I'm gonna hike it until either I summit something, get to a dead end in a bushwhack, or private property keeps me from going further. So at least I'll make another trip out of this. Two of the other hills I climbed, Hill 700 and Doug Benchmark. So I think now I'm gonna exclude Black Mountain from today's itinerary, and this will probably be my turnaround for the day, possibly. Like I said, we'll see when I get up there and see how I feel. It's possible still that I might find another way, but I don't want to add on another 4 or 5 miles on the day before I have to go back to work. I work in retail, and it's very strenuous work. So, yeah, I want to have some time to rest up before I have to go home. Rest up before I have to go to work. All right, I'll see you up here on top of this and see what I find up there. All right, so I'm on the upper ramparts of this water tower hill. Let me see if I can find my way to the highest point, or at least the highest outside of the fence. Let's see. It's a little bit higher inside the fence, but let's see. I'm gonna look around the other side too if I can. I'm basically gonna be calling, I think this will be a summit here. So I'm gonna look around the other side real quickly and see. If not, if I don't see anything higher, I'll come around and come back around there and declare a summit. I think I'm not sure if this is going to go all the way around, but if it does, maybe it'll give me an idea of what the scene looks like on the other side of this hill here. If it's an actual hill or if it's just a plateau before higher terrain. Looks like it goes around this way. And I just have to declare it. I'll have to declare it on the other side, I think. So I did come down a little bit to get down to this area. Obviously, I'm not going to cross the fence, but I do want to get a closer look and see. It's kind of neat, not going to lie. I'm not going to call this a consolation, I'm just going to call it a redirection. Sometimes consolations give off negative connotations, and that's not my goal. Pretty cool though. They have a very nice landscape with a lot of Canary Island pines, giving a slight mountain pine look to it. I can appreciate that. We're a little lower than Doug benchmark, so we're probably about 750, 760 feet in elevation, I'm guessing. Doug benchmark's about 820. That's from here it looks a little higher. So we're probably a little under 800 feet here. Probably, like I said, about 750, 760 maybe. I'm guessing that's probably close to the elevation of this. But I'm gonna go back over to the other side and just take a summit selfie over there. I like these Canary Island pines, very handsome, very well. A lot of lemonade berry growing up along the side there too. Pretty neat. Okay, well, I'll go back to the other side. As I'm making my way back, I was kind of philosophizing about this turn of events. So yeah, the door was closed to climbing directly up the ridge to Peak 1376. The door is open to exploring a small hill that I've never been to visit before. I've been on Peak 1376 once. I've been on Black Mountain twice, but I've never been on this little hill here. And I didn't see any keep out signs, so I think that other side's a little bit higher, but I'm just gonna do summit time over here. Like I said, I really can't tell if there's any higher parts jutting behind this until you get into the Black Mountain area. So I'm just gonna declare summit time over here. All right. Well, I'm guessing this hill's about 760 feet in elevation. But I'll look on the topo maps and on Google Earth. Well, at least look on Google Earth to get a good estimate of this. But I think there is some higher portion of the hill behind here, but I'm not going to be able to route around this without going downhill way too much. So I want to declare it here. So this will be my fourth hill of the day. And it's not going to be a 360, it's going to be more of a 180, which is fine. Let's do that real quick and I'll do my summit selfie. So that's looking west right there towards Del Mar. I can see the Del Mar Fairgrounds over there, it looks like. Yeah, I can see the Del Mar Fairgrounds way off there towards the water. Looks like the Del Mar Fairgrounds racetrack, I think, is over there. Then, Torrey Pines State Natural Reserve is over there. The extension area is behind that ridge over there, as we're looking west-southwest. Southwest again. Again, University Town Center in front. Well, not in front, but in front of the ridge back there, which is again Soledad Mountain. Looking east-southeast towards Black Mountain again. And yeah, I was gonna go down there, go there, zigzag, and then try to catch another trail that's supposed to go up the ridge directly to Black Mountain. But who knows if that's gonna be closed too. So before I do my summit selfie, there's another type of pine growing up here. They got a Torrey pine over here too. A small Torrey pine mixed in with these Canary Island pines. Very handsome addition to the landscape. It's too bad I can't get to the actual highest point, but this is pretty close right here. It's pretty close. Close enough that I'm not trespassing to do it. So let me get my fourth fourth summit selfie and probably start getting ready to work back. I'm just going to walk a little bit around this. Wow, look at this canyon. This is the gulch I passed. This is the canyon I passed on the dirt road. Oh, looks like somebody made a viewpoint up here. Somebody constructed this. Nice view of this canyon. This is a very nice view. Very nice view. Yeah, because I was going along that. There's the bottom of this canyon. Yeah, like I said, shortly past it, there was a trail leading up this ridge. This is the ridge that leads and culminates at Peak 1376 over there. But again, there was a small trail sign that said trail closed. There's a sign that says trail closed to keep out. It's a real shame because that would have been a really cool way to get up to Peak 1376 and Black Mountain. That would have been a really gnarly way to get up there. But this cool little hilltop right here, I'm guessing I don't see any higher portions behind it. So I got about as high as I legally could on this one. So I'm counting this as a 4th hill climb of the day. But I kind of want to just go down this a little bit and see what's going on here. So you get a slightly closer look at this canyon. That's a very beautiful canyon down there. Yeah. That is beautiful. That is some gorgeous canyon scenery. That is absolutely gorgeous. So I love canyons too. Canyons are really amazing places. You can really have some cool adventures. I can see all that laurel sumac down there, lemonade berry choking the bottom of the ravine. That is just so beautiful. So yeah, didn't make it up to my other 2 targets at the point at this time, but boy, I still really enjoyed making a run at something I've never visited before. I've never been over to this hilltop before, so I've been up on these 2 peaks before. You can watch my December 2022 video of Black Mountain 5 Summit Tour, Black Mountain Open Space Park 5 Summit Tour, where I hit the five main summits of the park, which includes 1376 and of course Black Mountain and 3 other hills in the area. But yeah, just that canyon down there. I'm trying to figure out if that's chaparral or if that's still coastal sage scrub. It could still be coastal sage scrub down there. Once you get up towards that way, that becomes chaparral. That becomes all chaparral up there. I'm just going to go down just a tiny bit further. Just wanted a view of this canyon. I don't know if this canyon has a name, but it sure is beautiful. That's when I was telling you I was going to cross the gulch before starting to go up towards that way. I was going to go up to that cul-de-sac, jog right, and go up there, but I was at the point where, I don't know, don't want to make a lot of extra effort or just go to or on the way back found this little spot that I could visit that I've never been to visit before. So yeah, you get some nice views of this canyon. It's very beautiful here. I mean, I'd love to see a use trail going up that rise there. It looks like it meets up with the road. I wouldn't have to go too close to the houses, but I don't feel like committing myself to going down, up all the way up that, and then going back up, especially if I got to work tomorrow. So this was a blessing in disguise right here. Finding this little road to get up here and finding it wasn't closed off as private property was a blessed redirection of my day. So I'm going to take a few pictures up here, especially of this beautiful canyon, and I'm going to start plotting my next moves. It's about 9 o'clock right now, so I've made some pretty good time. I've definitely made some good time today. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can make an alternative descent from this. Otherwise, I'll just go back down the way I came. Let's see. This had its little blessings to it too, so sometimes you got to look at it from a more positive point of view. Eye candy, and it might not show very much. It doesn't show very much on my channel because I'm out doing stuff that I love. Hiking, botanizing, wildlife spotting, climbing peaks, going through canyons and gullies. But I can be a bit of a negative person at times. I think we all can. Not gonna lie, I know how to be kind of a negative person with, in certain ways. Not gonna lie, not gonna sit here and do that. Especially when it comes to non-hiking related items. Because as you've seen, hiking is where it really pops off for me, and I am able to adapt. But I can be negative, but when it comes to this stuff, I'm just enjoying this. And I got to show you something down here. I just found some interesting stuff to botanize. See what I mean? This led me to another cool little side adventure in this little bald spot here. Should be at it very soon. But there's a population of coast barrel cactus over here. Here we got one underneath this nurse shrub here, protected from the overly desiccant rays of the sun. This right here is spine shrub, Adolphia californica. There is a budding coast barrel cactus that's getting ready to open up its flowers. Here we go. Here's a clump of coast barrel cactus. Look at that. How beautiful is that? That is gorgeous. Another coast barrel cactus. So we have some coast barrel cactus growing here too. It's a very endangered California native plant that should be protected at all costs. And we got some more growing here too. Getting flower buds on them. It's just about time for me to do a spotlight video on these plants. Here's another one. Kind of hard to see in the center there. That green ball in the center, that's another Phaerocactus viridescens. I'm gonna be doing a spotlight video on these soon, it looks like. Some of these are getting ready to flower. I haven't done a spotlight on that one yet. I pointed out a lot. I always want to do a spotlight on it, but I haven't really caught it in bloom too much to be able to do a good video on it. So yeah, we're getting back on the trail. See, another blessing just opened up for me. Going down this fork of the trail. Saw it off in the distance. Yep, I knew what time it was. See what I mean? A botanical blessing, courtesy of coastal sage scrub here in San Diego. Now, hopefully the next time I'm in Black Mountain open space, I can find the southern mountain misery. It'll only be the third time I've ever seen that plant in my life. Only seen it twice. First time was along the Iron Mountain Trail in Powell. There's a small population along the Iron Mountain Trail. Once you start climbing up towards the saddle before you start switchbacking, you'll find it there. The second time was on Hamul Mountain last June, almost a year ago. It's a population of Southern Mountain Misery, and a bunch of other rare stuff too, including what I could have sworn I saw, but couldn't confirm it at the time, Otai ceanothus, a rare, and Otai manzanita, I'm tripping. Could have sworn, I think I saw Otai manzanita, but I wasn't ready to declare it yet, and confidently say, yes, that's it, and bust out a spotlight video. But I'm pretty sure I saw Otai manzanita, and that would be a first, and another rare first. And then I saw chaparral pea, heartleaf pitcher sage, a bunch of crazy, uncommon to very rare finds on that trip. So the Hamul Mountains, if you hike directly to Hamul Mountain itself, the high point of the mountain range, you're going to come across some pretty juicy stuff up there. So that was only the second time I ever saw Southern Mountain Misery. So there's supposed to be a small population here at Black Mountain Open Space on those north-facing slopes. And I've been around trying to find it at least twice, or actually 3 times, probably 3 times, because I've been at Black Mountain Open Space 3 times. But the first time I didn't summit Black Mountain, that was over 10 years ago. All right, well, back here at the junction. I'm going to turn right. Cool little hill. All right, well, I'm going to work my way back towards the road, and that's towards the park right there. I'm either going to go up that, or I'll just go up the little scenic one. But we'll see. There's a tiny hill over there, too. One really great thing about this time of year, especially the month of April, is there's just so much golden yarrow. I point this plant out a lot, especially in the springtime. There's a reason why I point out Eriophyllum confertiflorum variety confertiflorum. There's a reason why I point this plant out. Just look at how cheerful and bright yellow those little flower heads are. There's just a ton of it growing along the side of this dirt road here. They got really small flower heads, but boy, they really cheer up the landscape. And you'll find them here at lower elevations, and then you'll find them, I've found them, I think, at least at 6,000 feet in the, at least 6, maybe even 7,000 feet in the mountains. So as the spring progresses towards summer, you go up higher, you'll find more of it. And here we got 2 relatives here I pointed out earlier. Here's San Diego bush sunflower, Bahiopsis laciniata, sometimes called goldeneye. Always a crowd pleaser wildflower that can bloom very prolifically for quite a long period of time. And its relative, the Californian Salea or California bush sunflower, and Salea californica, which can also be a very prolific bloomer, if you continue to water it past when it normally would go dry and dormant for the summer, you can keep the plant blooming for quite a while. California bush sunflower and Bahiopsis as well. So if you're interested in growing those plants, they should be pretty easy to grow. I've had a hybrid Californian Salea and desert brittle bush, which was a hybrid. I collected seeds from a brittle bush one time, and it was pretty easy to grow, and it flowered a couple times as well. But yeah, this is Salea californica. This is a plant that can bloom for a long time as well. It starts blooming very early in the rainy season and keeps blooming for quite a while. We got Diplacus australis, or some other type of Diplacus. This one's, I have one just like this. It has the same orangish yellow flower color. Yes, I have this type growing at home too. Yes, that's the light orange, golden orange, very satisfying. Monkey flowers can take so many different colors. What I want to do is I think I'm going to take this road here for a short bit before I return back. see where this goes. Just for the heck of it. See what I could find along this. I'm not in the mood to really climb any more peaks. I already summited 4 hills today. Not bad for a Thursday hike. Not gonna lie. Last Thursday was a pretty good one too. But I'm also in the mood just to kind of cruise and enjoy the sights here. Yeah. I might go for that small knoll right there too. It's not really a prominent peak, but I think I went up on that the first time I did Doug Benchmark. So I think I'm going to go for that as well, just for a little bonus hill. I think this is just going to lead right to Black Mountain Road. Yeah, this is Black Mountain Road right here. So this is just a cut through, or a cutoff, if you want to get back. But yeah, Hill 700, finally got up to the top of that one, and Doug Benchmark finally got back to that one. Yeah, Hill 700. Yep, that was a little bit more rugged than the other hills I climbed today. Not a difficult, extremely difficult hike in any stretch, but definitely more rugged. So here we are, just about back at Black Mountain Road, which I'm gonna hoof it over to Carmel Valley Road. Yeah, another fun romp in the coastal sage grub. Yeah, I've been all this month I've been doing hikes on Thursdays. I'm hoping next week maybe do a double dipper, an after work hike on Tuesday and a hike on Wednesday. We'll see how it goes, but I'm coming up to this huge laurel sumac flanked by a bunch of Pensalia californica. This is what it looks like usually during the rainy season when it's wetter. Here it's in the shade of the laurel sumac, so it's still pretty well protected from the full blast of the sun. Look at that. And there's a pretty decent sized laurel sumac with some large branches and trunks. Okay, some more purple sage. A lot of purple sage in this neighborhood. A lot of purple sage. This is past its peak, but yeah. A lot of purple sage around this area. Not native to San Diego County, but it is a California native plant. Alright, so I guess I'm going to go head back up to Carmel Valley Road. And we'll see if any more updates occur. So I'm heading my way back. Look at that jacaranda's in bloom right now. Jacaranda mimosafolia, those purple flowers. Common sight. Especially in May and June, but they flowered early this year. Some more Pensalia californica. Some smaller, more stunted jacarandas. Yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, so there's the other hill I climbed. So I'll leave Black Mountain alone again. I was thinking about heading towards it today. This purple sage gets big over here. It's still growing because it's getting irrigated. Except over here, you can tell this one's drier. Not getting irrigation over here. So we've got this really handsome Aleppo pine, or at least a group of them. Oh, there's a young one right there. Oh, guy's got cones on it already. There's a couple of them actually. These are such cool trees. Not native, but very well adapted to Mediterranean, even somewhat desert climates. You see these a lot planted out in our deserts too. We've got a few of them here. I just love these trees. So well adapted to our climate. Such cool pine trees. There's an arroyo willow right there in the center. Alright. Well, there's where I'm going to cross. Just going to jog up a little bit. And just go up that pathway there. It should take me to that other little hilltop. And see you along the way. Okay. Now, I'm going to go take this road up towards that other hill. I've been up this before. All right. Some more rabbits. There they go. More Audubons. Cottontails. So I'm gonna go head up this. And there should be a small hilltop lookout. And I'll go find that and check in up there. So I'm almost back at the park. I'm just gonna go visit this little mound here. Be back in my car in a matter of minutes after this. So remember, get up to this, and there's a small path that leads very slightly uphill to that slightly higher point. So I'll go up there and take a little vantage point and get ready to move back to the car. Alright, so here is that small path. Remember when I was up here, there was a rock cairn up here. Let's see if it's still here. Yep. Alright, here's the little promontory, a little hilltop. Let me put a pyramid up here. Very interesting. So, here we are in this little hilltop here. I'm going to take a summit selfie, but I don't know if I'm going to really consider this hill number 5. There's my first one. Yeah. There's the water tower. That's what I visited earlier. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it connects to that ridge. Looks like it connected to that ridge, so I'm not sure if that's not really a big peak, but it is the top of something really shallow. That's all right. It's nice to be up here. I'm just going to do a quick 360. So I'm going to start by looking west towards Doug Benchmark again. Southwest towards Hill 700. South, east-southeast, so is that water tower hill. East, east-northeast towards that hill. North, swinging it right back to Doug Benchmark. Alright, so I'm going to take a few summit shots up here and then start working my way back to the car. Another week out on the trail. So that's where I went up. That's where once I came for this most recent little side trip. Now I'm heading my way back up to the park. some foxtail agave, agave attenuata, subspecies attenuata. And I remember this little guy, handsome Washingtonia robusta. Very handsome little fan palm. And more of this ground cover Myoporum. Okay. I'm going to re-enter the park. I'm just going to book it across the ball fields. I'm not going to walk around the perimeter of the fence like I did before. Should be back pretty soon. California quail in the park. Try to see if I can zoom in. There's a bunch of quail, or a few of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of quail. There they go. Yeah, I probably won't see them very well on camera, unfortunately. There's one straggler. That might be a different species, though. But yeah, right over that garbage can. Bunch of quail. Calopepla californica. One in the middle of the grass is not a quail. We got a few quail here. Little dots on the camera. Yeah. Calopepla californica. Look at that. Ooh, and a western scrub jay. Yeah. Yeah, you can tell. The ones that kind of run really fast upright. Yeah, those are quails, the ones that are more upright, with a little crest on their head. Pretty cool. Don't usually see them out in the open like this too much. Yeah. Yep, those two right there, those are quail. Handsome birds. There they go. They can fly, but they usually run more than they fly. Cool. I'm surprised they're not running into the brush. They're just running in front of me. So I guess I will walk along the fence. There they go. Yep, Calopepla californica. Look at that. Usually they're long gone before I can even get video of them. Alright. That was cool. The longest I ever got them on camera. Pretty cool. Now they went on this way somewhere. Red-tailed hawks. Cool. Alright. So I'm nearing the area where I'm parked at the upper portion of the parking lot. Here we go, handsome Sayarcia lancea, African sumac. Handsome small tree. More foxtail agave. And a nice fully fruiting native lemonade berry, Rus integrifolia. Okay, this is one part. This is going to do it for me. Thanks for coming along on this hike with me. Hope to see you next week on another adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next hike.